Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and no, I'm not even close to being awake. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. In the description box, you are going to find the 2021 article written by a small non-for-profit called NeuroClastic, started by Autistics for Autistics, right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links of the Stop the Shocks campaign. Read that article, folks, because the JRC is threatening a defamation lawsuit if NeuroClastic does not remove it from their website. You're also going to find a link to their public statement on the matter, and down at the very bottom of the description box, you're going to see a link to the GoFundMe crowdfund that we've gotten started for them, just in case the JRC decides to see through their threat. You're also going to see another link, because NeuroClastic, being the badasses that they are going to be hosting a protest right at the JRC's doors today. Part of it, which is also going to be virtual, so I'm going to post a link for that in here in the description box. I believe it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I would go, but I have to work as per usual. So let's make a showing, folks, shall we? We also have the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present, self-explanatory, Change.org, Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Folks, when we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. As stated before, it's 4:25 a.m. I am not awake, so if this video sucks or I stumble over my words, apologies in advance. I'm lucky I can talk at the moment, all right? Okay, so where we left off yesterday. 58. The treatment model program is behavioral and does not offer any other forms of interventions for those students that exhibit psychiatric, developmental, and or dually diagnosed disorders. There were no indications that JRC considers whether his behavior model is based primarily on the punishment techniques is appropriate for all types of disabilities, and no evidence that the JRC differentiates between treatment of students with psychiatric disorders and developmentally related childhood disorders. Thank you! Thank you, New York. Thank you. And let's get ready for some word salad. JRC is a 24-hour intensive behavioral treatment program, and this is how JRC is described to the parents, school districts, and other state agencies that are considering treatment options for the clients in their care. Oh, fuck me. Here we go. So we're not going to deny it. We're just going to put all the blame on literally everybody fucking else. Do they ever take accountability for anything? Anything at all at this school? At all? Parents and agencies do not choose JRC as a placement unless they have decided that intensive 24-hour behavioral treatment is treatment indicated for their client. Okay. Apples and oranges, JRC. Do you have any idea how many programs there are with 24-hour fucking treatment? Do you? Because, yeah, they're all throughout the world. Imagine that. We've got a few here in the southwest part of Missouri, JRC. And you know what? Doesn't matter if you're a 24-hour intensive treatment facility or not, you do not fucking cookie cutter treatment, especially when you have various different disabilities within your program. Treatment should fit the diagnosis. This is not fucking rocket science here. This is basic, common fucking sense. It is bad medicine to give everyone the same treatment regardless of what their disability is. It's bad medicine. And it can end horribly. But let's see their garbage here. JRC, like most treatment programs, focuses all its resources on providing the best possible treatment in its chosen field, for which JRC is behavioral psychology. You are missing the fucking point, JRC. You are missing the point. You can specialize in whatever the fuck you want to, but when you've got vastly different types of disabilities housed under one roof, you cannot cookie cutter treatment like that. It's like arguing with this wall right here, I swear to God. Specializing in one form of treatment is very common approach among treatment facilities, as it improves the quality of care because the staff is highly trained and experienced in that field. Can I say it again for the idiots in the fucking back? You're missing the point, JRC. Those specialized centers you talk about center around a particular disability. Okay? Do not give me your bullshit. Like Rivendell out here. That school that I've been telling you guys about that we got set out here. Want to know what they focus on, JRC? Kids with autism. That's it. That's it. That's their niche. They treat people with autism. And even with the kids in there, in that school who have autism, guess what? The treatments and the education that they receive is still catered to the individual. Because disabilities vary from person to person to person. It's common sense. You cannot, in the name of God, justify to me using the exact type of same behavioral treatment on completely different disabilities or mental health issues. It's bad medicine. Why can't people see this? Moving on. While JOC can provide other forms of mental health treatment and does so on a limited basis when necessary, parents and agencies who are looking for primarily psychotherapy or drug treatment for their client are told by the JRC to consider other programs that specialize in those fields. Oh, I bet you do. I bet you guilt trip them. I bet you sit there and tell them that all they're going to do is drug up their kids until they're zombies, just so they'll sign on the dotted line. I bet you use scare tactics on these parents. You sign them a load of bullshit and then act like you're superior. Trust me, bro, I'm an expert. And that's the worst thing, folks, with any of these programs, bad or good. Is these people sell themselves as experts, and we are basically trained from young ages to trust doctors. They went for school for this shit, right? Trust doctors. Trust the professionals. They know what they're doing. It gives medical folks an extreme amount of power, especially over the parents. Because the parents are going to sit there and think, well, they're the experts. This is why, parents, you got to do your due diligence. You owe it to your kids. You owe it to your kids to research any program you get them put into within an upteenth of its life, especially if it's a residential program. You've got to do your due diligence. You have to, or you might end up being the next Cheryl Collins, which I would hate to see. Do not let these people dupe you. Do your homework from outside sources. Okay? Moving on. JRC specializes in taking consistent behavioral approach to treating all types of behavioral problem behaviors when the other forms of treatment have failed. Again, they're bullshit, they're selling you a bill of goods that is garbage. They're building a straw man and then tearing it down. But the thing about that straw man is it doesn't exist. You cannot treat different diagnoses the same. You can't. You can't. JRC identifies these behaviors that need to be increased and those that need to be decreased and applies behavioral procedures to accomplish those goals. Yeah, you're sick fucks is what you are. JRC treats every student individually and focuses on his or her needs specifically. The fuck you do. The fuck you do. Your idea of needs is to mold me into your neurotypical mold. This highly romanticized idea of what you call normal that doesn't even exist in the real world. No teenager out there that you can point out to outside your walls, JRC, are going to meet your criteria for getting off of the shocks. Teenagers curse, they date, they even go have sex. You ever been inside a high school, JRC? Your romanticized idea of normal can't be met by your most basic, most neurotypical teenager on the planet in order to get off those shocks. Just saying. JRC focuses on treating the student's inappropriate behaviors, whether a student has been given the MR and the MI label. Again, first of all, JRC, you realize even in 2006, nobody was using the fucking MR label anymore? Different approaches are taken with each individual student based primarily on rewards and educational systems. Telling me again, you still don't fucking get it. Adversives are only used as a supplement to the positive, as a supplement to the JRC's behavioral program. Students who clearly require it. Clearly we required to be tortured. Clearly we required to be tortured because daring to be able to be born neurodivergent. And no, folks, they don't just do this to autistics. You're seeing this here, right? You have students with completely different disabilities. Angelman syndrome, Down syndrome, CP. You have people with autism, ADHD, ADD, depression, anxiety disorders, mental health issues, and they get subjected to this fucking place and they all get the same treatment. Think about that. Just think about it. Adversives should not supplement any program, JRC. Why can't you understand that? You should not punish a disabled person for being disabled. You should never punish someone for stopping work for more than 3 seconds. You should not punish someone for refusing to remove their coat. You should not punish anyone for quote-unquote non-compliance. Because again, may I say it, this in your neurotypical teenager, you will find the exact same shit, non-compliance. Have they ever lived through teenage years? They would not take a neurotypical teen had they been stuck in that school and given a label off of those shocks for acting like a normal fucking teenager. Now think about what these kids have to go through on top of it. Oh, now we're going to do dual. Most students coming to JRC have multiple diagnoses, are usually taking multiple medications. Treating the diagnosis with medication was obviously not effective for the students if their behavior supported their being referred to JRC. That's some bullshit. The JRC's selling you a line of bullshit, folks. School districts that are overwhelmed will pass student on to other programs. I know, I've fucking seen it. Can I say it for the people in the back? I've worked in the field. They're selling you a line of garbage. The medications prescribed by previous placements are usually providing no treatment benefit or serving only as a chemical restraint. Which again tells me that the JRC, who is not trained in pharmacology, has no idea what's actually going on with the medication. This is why parents need to be better informed, and we cannot rely on our doctors to do it. Parents, if a medication is not working, do not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Do your due diligence. Research. It's not your school district's job, which is already overwhelmed. It's your job as the parents, if the medication is not working, to find out why, what's going on with that medication, and look into trying something else. We cannot rely on the school districts to properly diagnose and then send to a treatment program these kids, because even the schools that are overwhelmed don't have the time to research these places and make sure they're an actual good fit for these kids. I'm sorry, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here, okay? The special education departments in these United States here have been underfunded, understaffed, and overwhelmed for decades. If the school district sees an opportunity in order to send maybe a student or two to another specialized school, they're going to take it just to give a little bit of relief to their program. And being overwhelmed with the other students still to care for, they're not going to have the time to be able to do their due diligence. They're just not. They're going to trust the school because they're professionals. And the school is going to highly recommend and put pressure on the parent to put the kid in this other school. That's how it works. It has nothing to do, but we've tried everything. You haven't. You have not tried everything. There are other programs out there that parents don't even know exist. Don't even know they exist. And the overwhelmed school district is not going to have the time to tell them what those other programs are. The JRC sure as hell not going to do it. Parents, do your due diligence. You have to for your kids' sake. Do not let them get sent to this hellhole. And do not buy the word salad, the victim blaming, the straw man bullshit either. The JRC does not want functioning. They don't even want to push us into actual neurotypical behavior. Because the very shit they talk about punishing, some of the stuff that they point out is stuff that normal fucking teenagers do every goddamn day. And on that note, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out this morning. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Wish me luck. I hope I don't die on the freaking phones today. Bye-bye.